not a game they want to win with a huge scoreline.
No, not at all. We don't play the Southern Hemisphere, and they are, you know, 4 or 5 years in advance of us at the minute. So today's game needs to be tight. There needs to be a really strong battle down the middles, like Craig said, getting to the edges. Look, if you know Women's Rugby League, you know Amy Hardcastle is one to stop. The French know Amy very well. She's played against them plenty of times. I'm hoping that they're going to cut her off and try and stop her.
With the increased profile of the women's game and the continued growing in numbers, participation numbers, and the increasing strength of the side, there comes pressure with that, and there comes pressure on the coach. He's made a very big call, Craig Richards, in not picking Zoe Hornby for this, such as the form she's shown in the Super League. I know it's something that's caught you by surprise. It's a decision he's going to have to try and justify in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. And do you know what? Zoe needs to push on, because she is more than capable of not just being in the 17, but being in the starting 13. She's a forward that can run as strong as a prop. She moves like a second row, but she's got hands like a half. You know, she is a real asset to any squad, and she's so on form today. You know, she's up there for my Woman of Steel so far this year.
Well, Alice Varela, the French captain, will lead out her charges for this one. They know they have a very tough battle in prospect against the English side, and you heard from their coach Vincent Ballou. They will need to be an awful lot better than they were last October. They do, though, retain 12 of their 17 that went out against English last time, Jamie Jones, and every minute of experience, international get experience, should help you in the future.
Oh, without a doubt. And the French in particular have got some real strong, powerful women in there that are going to want to shake it up in the middle. And I was only talking to Craig yesterday, and he was saying that they're going to try and blow them away off the park. So they've got to be really cohesive. They've got to win the ruck. They've got to get them into a territory battle and try and get some fatigue in the legs of the French women.
Very many of them selected from the Catalan club as well. There's an added bonus of that. You know, Saints and Leeds have provided plenty in the English side, but if you get a lot of people from one particular club side, it can help with cohesion in the international side.
Yeah, absolutely. Last time that England played France, the French hadn't had a domestic game, and now to have this domestic game in Catalans and have so many playing, it should go well for France.
Okay, it is time now, led by their record-breaking, record-extending captain Emily Rudge. Here come the English women's side. This will be one of 2 matches they have in preparation for this year's World Cup, which will start for them against Brazil in a double-header on November the 1st at Headingley. Heady times for the women's game, all justified, and the profile has just gone through the roof. We'll just get a final word from our 2 pundits here, a final prediction. I want a winner, Jamie Jones and Danica, and I want a score.
Oh, England, I've got to go with England. I'm going for England in every game this weekend, Brian. But in this game, I think they're going to win by 30 points.
Danica?
I'm definitely going for an England win. I'm hoping it'll be tighter than it is, but England by 20.
Well, we will have anthems now sung by Lynn Kenning, and after that, your commentary team will be John Wells, Terry O'Connor, and Ben Pro.
Please stand for the national anthems performed by Lynn Kenning.
afternoon, everyone. With their opener against Brazil less than 5 months away, England continue their World Cup preparation against the French side, yet to defeat their cross-channel rivals since their first meeting back in 2007, going down 40 points to 4 in their last encounter 8 months ago in Perpignan. After 8 years without a home fixture, today's clash is England's 4th international in 12 months. As skipper Emily Rudge extends her record as England women's most capped international with a 26th appearance. At the other end of the scale, it's the latest milestone in the extraordinary career of Courtney Winfield-Hill, the former Brisbane Heat fast bowler in Australia's Big Bash. Having qualified on residency grounds, the Leeds Rhinos captain makes her England debut at the age of 35. James Jones is the referee for this National Lottery Women's International. The video ref assisting him, James Vella. And before the action gets underway, the players of England and France will unite for 13 seconds, showing their opposition to discrimination in society and in rugby league. Huge game then for both these sides as the countdown to the World Cup continues. England with that hit out against Wales last weekend. They've won all but one meeting with France since 2007. So heavy favourites going into this as Tara Stanley gets us underway. France with the first use of the football. It's Gaëlle Alverne who takes that first carry. Hooker is Mansart, and now Bessali of the Catalan Goddesses. 5 France international caps for her. Mansart once more.
Well, Ben, both sets of players, it's pivotal really in preparation for the World Cup come the end of the year. And France, everyone's expecting England to do a decent performance, come up with another good result after last week's victory over Wales. But this France side, they're physical, they like to play. Anyone who's ever played against the French side know that they have some flair. But what they really do need is an energetic start against England.
15 of the 17 on show for France contested the Elite One Women's Grand Final last month as Catalan Goddesses faced Lescure. This is the first chance to see Tara Stanley in action.
And that's a decent first set as well for France. Gone the full length of the field, pinned Tara Stanley in the corner. And if there's one thing we know from watching this French team, they are physical. As you can see from the first shot coming in, Elise Varela, part of that contact. And that's where France will pose England a problem. Last year's test in Perpignan, first score was 25 minutes in its origins, and there was some fierce contact in the middle of the field.
Leah Burke it was who felt that contact. Her second international cap, faced Wales last weekend. The kick is from Roach. Turns full back around and work for Elisa Akpa to do. The chase is really good from England as well, led by Goldthorpe, who is no slouch, it's fair to say.
Well, physical set 6 then from France, like John said. England give their first penalty away. This France side will just keep doing the basics, and that's all they need to do. Leah Burke is just to have gone high here, and the referee, James Jones, straight away puts the whistle to his mouth.
I echo the sentiments of what was said in the studio by Danica Priem as well. You know, England need a test. They need a physical test, and they'll get one. But they also need a test of their discipline in their defensive line. And France will offer that as well. Plenty of pre-line from the stuff that we've seen in preparation for this game. They can play.
France then back in possession. Craig Richards looks on. He's made 5 changes to the 17 victorious at Pandy Park a week ago. And now Mansart. Got the only French points in that 54-4 loss, I should say, to England.
Well, 4 years ago. They got a set restart as well here, Ben. And this is good field position for them. Mansart's got options either side of the rope.
25 away with Bessali. It's now Montserrat. Mansart again. Picks out Syria this time. Biville. Lorraine Biville.
There's another notable thing from their attacking play in the test from last year. They love playing a short side. They hit that plenty of times. England up to the task so far.
Gael Alverne gets France to within 5 metres, but there's an England player down.
Yeah, that was a good line from Alverne, wasn't it? And a big, strong carry. And Field just felt the effects of that hit.
Grace Field, she's a huge asset for this England side. She had an excellent game last week, as did Liv Wood, who was on debut. It's her front row partner today. The doctors will assess. She looked to go awkwardly into that defensive tackle. And the physio just assessing Grace Field's ability to carry on.
French coach Vincent Balou watching on, a former coach of Bordeaux, assisted by Frankie Goffin.
See Grace Field as well, just indicates the referee when he came into the side of the screen that she thought that she was there was an elbow in there from the French player. Been given the thumbs up by the physio, so Craig Richards will not be forced into any early changes. Grace Field good to continue.
She made her England debut in Goroka, Papua New Guinea, back in 2019. France on the attack as Alverne plays the ball. Syria. Pakul manages to smuggle that ball back, but the England defence really in the faces of this French attack. Mensah will play it. On the bounce. Hardcastle is there, but she can't prevent the offload, and Syria away this time for Alverne. She puts boot to ball. To Tester for Leah Burke.
And again, just some decent line speed here from France, but it was a poor kick to end the set with. Then they got lucky with a couple of offloads and managed to kick the ball down into the corner. England looking to open up the field here and just try and find some space in this French defensive line. It's pretty tight and good line speed again. Look at that, there's some good contact.
Heavy contact with Grace Field. We can go downstairs to Jenna.
Yeah, Ben, it's a big weekend for International Rugby League. It's also a very big weekend for the women's game tomorrow morning. History will be made when Pilkington Rex under-7s will field the first ever all-girls rugby league team at this age group in this country. And you can see them there. They are the girls. We, of course, want to wish them all the very best for tomorrow morning.
Absolutely, Jenna, well said. This crowd looking forward to this international doubleheader, but England, heavy favourites, as I mentioned, and not having things their own way in this opening 5 minutes.
Well, they need to be disciplined as well here now. They've got France where they want them. They've been finding it difficult, and there's the penalty. No, they'd be so disappointed. They found it hard to get away from their line carrying the ball because this France team have been getting off the line and really playing on the front foot defensively, and then they gift the penalty, which will be 20, 30 metres from the high shot from Tara Jones.
The penalty's not found touch, but Tara Stanley has come up with an error. She had the opportunity to stop that from going into touch. She's knocked on in the process of trying to do that, so that'll be essentially where the French wanted to be at the end of that. I'll tell you one to look out for the French. The loose forward, number 13, Leia Basali. She's very, very physical, aggressive player, but she's got some hands as well. Very skillful passer of a ball. So I think she's a real danger for England today.
25 years of age now, born in Perpignan. 6th French cap this afternoon. Syria fed the scrum. Rocked back was Georgia Roche there.
Keep coming, England. Hold with me here. Wait, go one.
Now Mensah, Pakul.
2. Come on. Hold. No, stuck in
Names
there.
Sam Tompkins as an inspiration. Elodie Pakul. Made her debut last year in French colours. Away by Margot Canal. Montserrat. France bossing the territory, bossing the possession. It's a great start for Vincent Balou. Akpa. Last one coming up. Beville.
It's okay. Kick it.
Kick hits the post. Zahra Stanley couldn't get there.
Well, it was an improvised kick, wasn't it? The pass wasn't the best one. And the French half just got their hand to it. Zahra Stanley, the post got in the way, and Georgia Roach it was who knocked the ball behind. Look, in many ways, this is a good test for the English, particularly early on. They've been asked plenty of questions. That's exactly what we were looking for. We were looking for a high-quality opposition, looking for a high-quality test. And the French have been up to it so far. They are asking plenty of questions.
Plenty of international action going on this weekend, and full-time in Halifax, and Ireland have beaten Scotland 52-22 in that wheelchair international. Bessali for France, and don't forget, England and France will go head-to-head live on Sky Sports for you tomorrow as well. The wheelchair international is live from 3 o'clock on Sky Sports Arena. Here is Sarah Menard. Holly Dodd downstairs. Mansard gets that ball away, but not cleanly. Off Pakul. Zakpa. And now Beville. 15 away, France. Nice skill from Elisa Akbar again. 30 years of age, an occupational therapist. She plays the ball 10 metres away. The kick comes from Syria. Again, it almost hit the post, and they're almost in here. It was Bessali who was trying to find the opportunity. Great defence from England. Well, Thorpe just about there.
Tara Jones, look at the pressure here. So to get that kick away shows the skill that France have close to the line. That short kicking game can be so important to a team. You can see it took an awkward bounce under some pressure. And like John said, England didn't want to turn up here today and just have it all their own way. They're not going to get that in the World Cup.
Elisa Akbar. As France continue this onslaught. It's been such an impressive opening 9 minutes from the visitors. Almost through. Here's the captain, Varela. It's now Mansard. Cynthia Mansard.
She started really strongly, Mansard.
Just 4 metres or so away, France, and deserve a try given their start to this game. Can England hold out? Montserrat. Now Beville.
Pass it on the ball.
And it's a forward pass that's been called.
Option England. 10-20 middle. 10-20 middle.
Yeah, it's just that forward pass, I think, that's been offered. That's an interesting battle that's developing, isn't it? And that right-hand channel between Beville and Amy Hardcastle. Amy Hardcastle, all on the defensive. We know what she can do when she's got the ball. She's having to be on the top of her game to repel Beville at the moment. What a player she is. Hopefully see her in full flight later on today. I'll tell you what, continued pressure from the French. There's another stoppage in play, Ben, for another head injury assessment, I think.
Work in the rucks now, ladies, is a better good response. Okay, thank you.
England line holding out. They only conceded 1 try in both matches last year. They beat Wales 60-0 and also won 40 points to 4 in Perpignan.
Yeah. That's okay, mate.
Craig Richards will have expected a test. He's got exactly that in this opening 10 minutes or so.
You cast your mind back to the last time these two sides met in Perpignan. The criticism of the French was that their passages of play were so inconsistent. They couldn't complete a set of 6. Ball kept going to ground. Missed opportunities, passes not made, passes dropped. We've seen none of that. And the French coach, Vincent Balout, will be very, very happy with the start that his charges have made. They've looked an altogether different prospect.
Wait now. Time is on. Wait.
Absolutely. 40 points to 4, as you say, and Emily Rudge with 2 of England's 7 tries that night. Here is Goldthorpe. Manages to get the ball away.
0.
Fantastic pass to find Leah Berg. Here is Stanley now.
0. 1.
England taken aback, I'm sure, by this French star. Hardly had possession. This is more like it, though. Holly Dodd of the York City Knights. Here is Liv Wood.
Yeah, she was impressive last week. She made a debut against Wales down in Pandy Park and retains her position this week. Excellent start to life as an international.
When he turns 21 next month, this is good from Roach.
Yeah, she's a good player as well, Georgia Roach. I do like the way that she goes at the defensive line. Very creative player. Earned aside another set of 6 here.
Former Castleford and Featherstone player. Switched to the Leeds Rhinos this year. Set restart for England. Chance to put the French line under some pressure.
Well, another set restart they've got.
Jones for Dodd.
Now they're setting up to come left. Take a look at Tara Stanley out the back here. Winfield Hill won the ball.
Winfield Hill picks out Grace Field, coming back the other way. Tara Jones. Here is Courtney Winfield Hill. It's a short ball for Rudge. Emily Rudge is put down by Syria, but England just a couple of metres away. Jones. The runner was Grace Field. She couldn't take the pass in. So France will have possession again in a minute. First attack for England.
Well, England's left edge is so strong, and why wouldn't you go to that side when you've got Amy Hardcastle? Emily Rudge, the captain, she runs one of the best lines in the competition. Outstanding. 2 real strikes, and like John said, Tara Stanley out the back. And if Winfield Hill can just pull the strings and just hold up those defenders, they will have some joy over on England's left-hand side. Got some genuine speedsters as well.
They've got some great footwork. And for those who've maybe joining us for the first game of Women's Rugby League, or a first international for that matter, Tara Stanley at the back, as far as left foot steps go, and then doubling up on that left foot step as well. That is wicked, and really, really will. I mean, the French, if they've done the homework, they'll be worried, and they'll be scared if they get Tara Stanley with the ball in any kind of space.
Well, do you know, when you look at Tara Stanley, you talk about that left foot step, John, you wouldn't want to kick the ball over to England's left-hand side. You want to kick it to the other corner, take away that threat, because she is that dangerous at the back.
15th England appearance today. Made her debut back in 2011, and a Woman of Steel nominee back in 2018 as well. England now will hunt the mistakes. 3 in the tackle there. Desperate to wrest possession back. No way through for Manon Samara. The elder of the 2 sisters in this French 17, alongside Doreen on the substitutes bench. Mansar gets that ball away, and Bessali.
That's great contact from Holly Dodd. She's had a great start to this game as well. Really strong running, strong tackling.
Elodie Pakul holds on. There's more than that. Some good metres after contact there. The Perpignan-born 28-year-old. Bessali again, but no way through this rock-solid England defence. Last one coming up. Kick under real pressure. And so Courtney Winfield Hill will pick things up just 40 metres away from that French line. No way through for Hardcastle initially.
Well, that was an outstanding set of 6 defensively. Amy Hardcastle.
Tackles complete, then knocked on, okay?
Just should have knocked that ball on. Yeah, France will get the ball here.
I tell you, it's going to be a really interesting battle. Baville's not taking a backward step. I'm sure she knows all about Amy Hardcastle. It's physical. And it's work as well after the initial contact. There's the kick pressure that forced from Georgia Roach and left England in this position, but they've squandered that opportunity, and the French regained possession 5 minutes prior to the halfway line. This is going to be a really interesting battle between Amy Hardcastle and Lauriane Baville. Lauriane Baville, she's played, spent time in the Australian Women's NRL.
That's right, 2 years with the Brisbane Tigers. She made her test debut against England at 17.
Wait for the outcall. Liaisi to play. Out!
Here is Varela, the French captain.
Come back. Wait! Go one.
Work from Holly Dodd in defence for England, but here is Margot Canal.
Wait! Wait! Go, 2.
Mansar waits. Where inside is Beville. Tara Jones among those England tacklers.
Get square. Go, 2. Not square. That's 3. Tackle 3.
Barella again to that left-hand side. Christina Songpush.
4. That's okay. 4.
One of the first female players to play in the Southern Hemisphere with the Burley Bears. Songpush. 10 away, France. Last one coming up. 15 minutes on the clock. Mansar gets the ball away and the kick is hoisted. It's going to be a test. And Courtney Winfield in exactly the right place and immediately taken down.
Yeah, well taken, under some pressure as well then, wasn't she? Winfield Hill.
Not involved.
Mansar just timed that to perfection when she could hit her.
Tackle complete.
Look at that, as soon as her right foot touches the ground, she's hit, taken to ground. Amy Hardcastle now just trying to get her nose through the defensive line. It's been pretty solid down here.
10-minute hat-trick for Amy Hardcastle in Perpignan exactly 5 years ago. France offside and a chance for England to move firmly into that French half of the field now.
Did not think I'd be saying this with 15 minutes gone, but England needed that. They needed that break because the pressure from the French has been relentless. England need time with the ball. They need time in the right area of the field. Look, they're good enough. They're good enough to win this game and they're good enough to win it well. But they've been put off that game plan in the initial opening quarter of an hour of a game by a very, very resilient French side.
Almost through. Jodie Cunningham flings the ball back.
Stand this one, reculate.
It's Jones who dives on it and keeps possession for England. Here now, Stanley. Into the tackle there of Gail Alvan.
Not square.
Jones again.
6 again, not square.
Grace Field.
There's another set restart being given by the referee. Too much going on at the play of the ball by the French.
And on the back of that was Georgia Roach. The runner is Holly Dodd, and Holly Dodd will strike for England. First blood to England, and Holly Dodd on her second international appearance has sub on this ground last June against Wales, and now strikes against the French. They haven't had it at all their own way in the opening 17 minutes, but England strike first blood in Warrington. They lead by 4 points to 0.
No, you're right. They've been under some pressure. Holly Dodd's done a mountain of work in defence. 17 tackles in 17 minutes. And first over the try line. But what about that? The play from Georgia Roach in the build-up to just keep those two defenders in front of her honest. You look how deep she goes at the line. And she delivers that pass perfectly. And as soon as Dodd gets that ball, she goes through the line, a good right foot step to go past the fullback, Agpart. That's a quality try, that.
And there's so many different parts to this. I mean, first of all, the pass from the base of the ruck here from Tara Jones. This has got 10, 15 metres off and it sings and gives Georgia Roach the time to go out of the defensive line. It's a beautiful show and go as well from Holly Dodd. Lovely little right foot steps across. England get the breakthrough. Holly Dodd being at the centre of things. She gets the points on the board, but as you said, Terry, tops the tackle count as well by some margin.
2 tries in a week for Holly Dodd. Struck at Pandy Park. The kick from Stanley is successful, and England ahead by 6 points to 0.
Good passing. We've talked about this in the base of the ruck from Tara Jones and from Georgia Roach, but Tara Stanley's movement out the back as well confused that French defence, and that is as strong a lead line as you will see. And she may well smile. The opening try for England in a test match in what is actually quite an early part of the season in the women's game. They play the Challenge Cup from March until May. I think they've only played 3 rounds of the Women's Super League. They're still coming into the top levels of fitness, this England women's team. I'll tell you what, great ball movement, great setup, but it took that pressure release, didn't it, from France? It took a crack in that French defence at the end of the field to allow England into that area where they are so dangerous.
Don't forget, this is the first act of a double header for you live on Sky Sports this afternoon. England face the Combined Nations All-Stars following this one. That's a 5:45 kickoff. Sean Wayne and Ellery Hanley, former Wigan teammates, head-to-head, of course. And then it's England-France again, this time go head-to-head in a wheelchair international. That's live for you tomorrow, 3 o'clock, Sky Sports Arena. Jodie Cunningham. for England.
Well, Jodie Cunningham on the back of that real strong carry from Liv Wood. Well, they get over the advantage line. They do play nice and aggressive, England. They've got players there that just don't deviate from the line this set.
Grace Field played the ball.
This is again.
Good tackle. That's a really good tackle by the French.
Elodie Pacoul in there. Kick will come from Georgia Roach. Ricochets, and France have it back in a central position.
Well, it's really unfortunate that that's been adjudged a knock-on and an England scrum, because the strength of the tackle that preceded the last meant that Georgia Roach was under incredible pressure. The French were able to get the line speed. The kick was charged down and fell into French hands. It was Varela with the charge down, but there's just a knock-on there. You could argue that was a strip, actually. Pacoul could consider herself unlucky there.
England get the benefit. And a chance to post back-to-back tries. Stanley. Field Hill. Lauren Beville is the tackler. Here is Emily Rudge, the skipper. 9 tries in the last 4 international appearances. Big collision with Shona Hoyle on from the substitutes bench this afternoon. Of St Helens, former Huddersfield player.
Then Georgia Roach just asking some questions, isn't she? Over on that right-hand side.
Tara Jones, Liv Wood. 2 in the tackle for France. Last one for England. Jones. Kick. Collected. Composed. Collected composedly by Manan Samara. England now will look for the field position, look to trap Song Poosh and France in this area.
Yeah, well, they look to really press hard, won't they? And win the battle. Down this end of the field, Mansard again from dummy half. She will try and go on a win, but that's some strong defence. 4 players just driving her back.
Holly Dodd among them. Margot Canal. Wrestled to the ground by a combination there of Dodd and Tara Jones. France suddenly finding the meters harder to come by here as Basali tries to get them out of trouble. Cunningham and Shona Hoyle in defence for England.
Clear, offside.
Kick hammered downfield by Akper. And Stanley now to launch the counter for England.
Well, that was a good kick and a good chase, really. Split the winger and the fullback to get a few more metres. And a decent chase.
Caitlin Beavers now. Into the tackle of Pacoul. Jones away for Hardcastle. Levels of excitement lift whenever the St Helens centre gets the ball. And on the back of that, Leah Burke. More good defence on show from France, though. England inside that France half of the field. Cunningham. Devastating step she has. Get round the tackle of Basali on that occasion. Here now is Roach. Just a kick. Behind Song Pooh, she's got work to do. She's done well to keep hold of possession there under real pressure.
Yeah, it's great work, isn't it, from Leah Burke? Great kick chase, great kick on the front foot, and now backing it up. They're pegged in the corner. French team. That's a good run from dummy half, though. Brave run from dummy half, but again, England forcing. Not a mistake. Referee said ball's gone backwards and play on.
Well, the strong defence then, it forces the player into make an offload, and now England just been penalised, just trying to defend and get off the line a bit too quick for the referee.
Yeah, I think take your pick there, Jodie Cunningham, Grace Field. He had a number stood in front of him. Jodie Cunningham, you saw just in the last passage of play, she ducked in back behind the ruck. And that's where she does most of her best work.
She was good last week against Wales. 3 tries that she came up with in the first half. Jodie Cunningham.
Stopping the progress of Gail Alvin. Good hands, though, from France. Hardcastle in attendance, though, for England alongside Winfield Hill.
Push forward, play on 2.
One man on Samara. Here is Mansar. She gets the pass away.
I got lost there.
Again, you've got to credit the defence. Like I said before, when France made the mistake down near the line, when you get hit as a player and you know it's a solid hit, you look to try and spin and offload the ball in really an impossible position. If you can't control the ball and get it to your teammates' hands, you just probably go through with that motion of offloading the ball because you've been dominated in defence.
I'll tell you what, I understand Syria's frustration there. I don't think there was anything wrong with that passage of play. It looked very much like an offload that went backwards. It's a late offload, but there's nothing wrong with that. It's gone to floor, picked up cleanly. Again, the French could consider themselves unlucky there, and they're on the back foot again. England coming at them.
Winfield Hill initially, and Stanley finds Goldthorpe, and Goldthorpe is quick. It's a really important tackle from Margot Canal. Quick play the ball, though. Leah Burke on the back of it. Crossfield for now, and then dumped unceremoniously there by Mansar. What a hit.
Wait, go. 2.
Stanley again. This now is Holly Dodd. Look at this. Dodd plays the ball. Jones, Winfield Hill. Deeper is Cunningham, and Cunningham has support. And in the corner, Caitlin Beavers goes in for the second England try. They've crossed twice in less than 10 minutes after a great start from France. But Caitlin Beavers is all smiles, 20 years of age. Tries in both internationals last year against Wales and France, and she has struck again in Warrington.
I'll tell you what, Terry, you talked about Jodie Cunningham with 3 try assists last week. It all came from the supposed error there from France and the frustration shown by Celia. She is annoyed that that decision went against her, but you've got to defend off the back of mistakes. This is great set-up play. Have a look at this out the back from Jodie Cunningham, sat in the full-back pocket. We know she's played plenty in the 6th position, drifts across the defence, and then Caitlin Beavers does very well. You can be tempted to come in off your chalk. She doesn't. She holds the line. Cunningham pulls in the winger, and I tell you what, it's a decent finish. They've had very few opportunities at this end of the field, but that's executed really well. Just look how Cunningham eyes up, waiting for the winger to commit, and Beavers in at the corner.
5th England appearance for Caitlin Beavers. 3 tries in the Challenge Cup already this year, and 1 in the Women's Super League as well. A chance for Tara Stanley to extend this England lead from the sideline. It's a really good effort, but just wide of the target. But England in double figures, ahead by 10 points to 0.
Well, it's good attacking shape from Craig Richards' girls, the way that they're set up. And you've also got to give some credit to the number 11, Emily Rudge. The line that she goes there just holds up those French defenders. Jodie Cunningham out the back, hits Caitlin Beavers, but a strong line. Said before, whenever she gets the ball, she does make some damage, the captain. And to just set that try up for Beavers then, over on the left with a determined run.
That's a perfect example, isn't it? If you are consistent in your work and what you do, and you hit those lines unconditionally, whether you're going to get the ball or not, then whenever opposition are doing the research on you, they have to account for that. And that ends up having those ripples in the defensive line because they're anticipating the ball coming to Rudge. Can be as effective without it as with it.
Vicky Whitfield on from the substitutes bench for England. That was a really good carry to start this set.
Square, wait, go 2.
Dodd plays the ball. Here now, Shona Hoyle.
Still 2.
England continue with Stanley.
Still 2.
She gets the ball away. Comes back though, and here is Emily Rudge. 2 around her. England trying to ramp things up right now. looking for a couple of tries in a couple of minutes. As Winfield Hill gets the pass away again, it's Hardcastle, and she will not be stopped. And it is 2 tries in 2 minutes for England. And Amy Hardcastle has struck her 21st England appearance tonight. Named in the World Team of the Decade back in 2020. And Amy Hardcastle showing just how devastating she can be.
Well, some strong carries from the kick-off led to some decent field position, and England not overplaying, they're just playing what they see. And Courtney Hill, she goes at the line, and the gap just opens up for Amy Hardcastle. Whenever you watch Amy Hardcastle, she does grab the headlines. Just look how confident she is, the way she transfers the ball into the right hand, just to get rid of the defender at par with her left hand if she comes anywhere near her.
A frontline NHS nurse as well. Amy Hardcastle, through the horrors of COVID, and been an incredible servant to St Helens as well. Concurrently with that, and of course to England, 21st appearance, as I say, a try against Wales last week, and player of the match. Half an hour gone, and the scoreline looking a lot more healthy for England as Stanley puts over 2 more points. 16-0 now.
Yeah, it's the offloads, a series of offloads. Tara Jones waiting, and again Stanley. Look at this out the back door from Stanley. Fumbled by Cunningham, but into the hands of Emily Rudge, and it's the next play where the try scored. Look at the setup in the chat there from Courtney Hill. Getting Amy Hardcastle into position, draws into the line and puts Hardcastle into a huge hole. She ducks back down on the inside and scores the left-hand side of the sticks. They've had to be patient of England, haven't they? But Hardcastle, we talked about the defensive duties. She had to be on the ball. That little mini battle that was going on with Lauriane Beville. Well, she's shown what she can do in attack.
Leah Burke. Beg your pardon, it was Goldthorpe. Here now is Whitfield, whose carry started that move that culminated in that third England try.
Well,
they're desperate now, aren't they? This French side to slow England down.
Shona Hoyle.
A couple of carries, they're over the halfway line. And Cunningham linking up with Rudge.
Jones decided to run herself into the tackle of Maëlys Borak. Cunningham's pass, Winfield Hill. Now it's Roche. And Stanley stepping brilliantly. Tara Stanley in the clear. The pass goes wide to Leah Burke, who can't take it in.
Did she need to pass?
It was unselfish play. I think if she has a time again, Tara Stanley, well, when she goes through here, John,
you're not passing
again,
this.
it's a good step, double step, you go through, the gaps there, accelerate, go through it. She's outstanding, isn't she? She really does link up well. And she made the decision, like I said, unselfishly to deliver that pass to Leah Burke. Unfortunately, couldn't just execute it correctly.
Leah Burke, a Challenge Cup final try against Leeds last month as Saints emerged victorious at Ellen Road. Just couldn't make the most of that opportunity, but Craig Richards will be feeling a whole lot better after those 3 England tries.
Come back. Wait! Go, that's okay, 1. 2. Move! I can hold it.
Margot Canal is put to ground. Song Push.
3. Move! Back behind the line.
Tackle comes in from Grace Field.
6 again, out to the right. No, work harder, Tyler.
You know, the referee's keen on the tidying up round the ruck. Another set restart, this time conceded by the English, so the French are going to get a little bit more time in possession here.
Borak played the ball. There's Basali.
2. Hold you, wait.
England men are in the house. George Williams and Alex Walmsley watching on. Alverne,
3.
meanwhile, for France.
Back we come, ladies. Wait, Tara Yard, please.
30 years of
That's all,
age,
now
born
go
in
third. Play on.
Albi.
Good work.
4th international appearance tonight.
Good tackle, Tara Jones. Good anticipation.
Okay, take a 0.
It was Varela that just travelled a little bit too far with the ball.
Do you know, she gets through some work, doesn't she, Tara Jones? She effected that tackle and she's straight behind the ruck to pass the ball.
And England go without the ball again.
There's Vicky Whitfield that loses the ball.
2 knock-ons from France.
We're just trying to get over the advantage line. Whitfield makes the mistake.
It's just fired a little bit too hard at Vicky Whitfield. She made some impact off the bench. She's been excellent, hasn't she, for St Helens this year?
Also a substitute in Perpignan last October.
Let's go.
Can France post points before the break? It's Borak who's moved into that hooking role.
Hands out. Go 2.
No way through for Elisa Akpa. Good pass.
Oh, strong defence. Well, they're asking some questions, France, but England are turning up. And good pressure from marker from Amy Hardcastle.
As Beville's away.
Beville still going. Faced by Stanley, that was really important. And now the reinforcements have arrived. But France just 5 metres away. Looking for their first points of the afternoon. To the left they go. That was Basali. The pass comes.
Nice offload.
And they're going to go to that left-hand side. That must be in, surely. Has that ball gone over the line? They play the ball. They're going to score anyway. It's Song Poosh who's put it down.
Time off.
The referee's called time off to consult with his touch judge. I think this is going to be given.
To try.
And I'll tell you what, that's reward for some endeavour by the French. It was all started the other end of the other side of the field, just that again working that short side, a real theme of the French attack, and Song Poosh the eventual beneficiary on the far other side of the field. This is the break from Beville, and I think she's been one of the standout players for this French team. Tara Stanley forced into some rearguard action, and then the ball spun across. You felt the tackle before, it needed one extra pass. This pass here, if that could have been taken away, then there was a very near miss. I thought this, on first glimpse, was a try. I thought that was grounded on the line, but it mattered not because the ball went short side. It was Frank Goldthorpe sat on the inside. Leah Burke caught on the inside as well, and Song Poosh took advantage and dotted down in the corner. Take another look at this. This is the play before. I thought that was grounded on the line. Referee had said no, play on. So the French went, OK, we'll take another, and we'll be smart about that, and we'll score on the short side. Great work. That's a great riposte.
Well, it took 79 minutes in Perpignan 8 months ago for France to cross the English line in the shape of Melanie Bianchini. It's taken just 35 in Warrington. And Vincent Boulou be delighted his side have trouble the scoreboard. Syria will attempt to improve matters from the sideline. Picture of concentration. Can she succeed where Tara Stanley failed? So narrowly missed, but France on the board. They trail by 16 points to 4, and a great time having posted points. We can hear from the French assistant down there, Frankie Goffin. Frankie, you must be delighted with the start, first of all, and also to get on the score sheet.
Yeah, we're really happy for the first 20 minutes. We did absolutely well. We just controlled the game and the ball. And the thing is, when you leave the ball or lost the ball, if you give that to England squad, we should be really hard to, they score all the time and they control it. They are really fast and play the ball. And we just to try to find something in half time. between us and them. So I'm pretty happy for the first 20 minutes, but we have to control the game first.
Thanks very much, Frankie. That's great.
Cheers.
France will have possession, or will they? That's so unlucky again for the visitors, who are going to have to drop out in a minute.
Yeah, well, the concentration just lets them down then. It was so good down near the try line. To get over the try line, he's just seen the amount of French players in the frame. And a great kick from Tara Stanley to put some pressure now. And just under, what, 2 minutes to go before half time. And he goes short. And is it Tara Jones that comes up with it?
Jones for England just 12 metres away. This would be particularly damaging for France if England were to go over again from this mistake. Just as France had got themselves a foothold in the game. Here now is Whitfield. 10 away. Winfield Hill. Lots of options. Takes the ball herself. Tackle came in from Montserrat. Here now Shona Hoyle gets the pass away to Whitfield.
Good defence from France, so they've got one more tackle to hold out.
Yeah, one chance for Craig Richards' side. Ball goes to that right-hand side, and it's a great tackle again.
That's a fantastic tackle. It's a try-saving tackle from Song Poo. She was the try-scorer 3 minutes ago at the end of the field, and then reads that well, actually not reads it, adjusts magnificently well to pull down Leah Burke.
Fantastic defence from Song Poosh as we move into the final minute.
Well, we wanted a test. We wanted a test. We've got one. This is a much improved French side. As physical as we know them to be in the middle. There's some pre-line passing going on, as we've known them to do. The short side work has been good when they've had the chance. The defence has been exceptional.
Malice Borak.
Come on. Wait, go for it.
Pakul plays the ball. Ball unloaded in the tackle, still alive. Basali has it. Cunningham in there for England. And that's the end of a compelling first half. And England certainly not having things their own way, as many expected going into this. France bossing things early on, but 3 tries to England put them 16-0 up. Christina Song Poosh has struck back for the visitors, but plenty for Craig Richards to think about at half-time. At the break, England ahead by 16 points to 4.
You are not wrong, Ben. Thanks to you, to John Wells, and to Terry O'Connor, as Craig Richards charges troop off here at the Halliwell-Jones Stadium in Warrington in the opening game of our international doubleheader. It is not the half-time scoreline perhaps they expected. A 16-4 lead over a French side they beat 40 points to 4 last October. France still in this match, a fantastic first-half defensive display. We'll get the thoughts of Jamie Jones-Buchanan and Danica Preem after this. Well, it's Canadian Grand Prix in the 9th round of the 2022 season. We'll bring you all the action from Montreal tonight, qualifying. Note the time, 8 p.m. on Sky Sports Formula 1. And tomorrow evening at 5:30 p.m, same channel for race day. Well, from Brookline, we'll bring you the US Open. Day 3 is on now on Sky Sports Golf, and we'll bring you the final round tomorrow. It all gets underway, same channel, 2 p.m. for that. Well, we've got a very special international weekend for you on Sky Sports. 3 international matches. This is the first of our double-header here today from the Halliwell Jones Stadium, with England women leading their French counterpart 16 points to 4 at half-time. And I'm delighted to welcome you back to the Halliwell Jones Stadium, and welcome back Jamie Jones-Buchanan and Danica Preem, former England internationals. Danica, your overall assessment of the first 40 minutes from an England perspective?
Simply not good enough. From the girls, there's a lot of errors. There seems to be a lot of nerves out there. You know, I know the girls individually very well, and I know a lot of them won't be happy with their performance this half. So a lot of regrouping at the minute to come out from, you know, really basic errors that have been occurring from girls that you would put your bread and butter on, you know. Maybe
worrying, put this question to both of you, from an English perspective, is they had a scratchy performance against Wales last Sunday. 20-0 at half-time and a pretty closely fought second half. They didn't seem to get that out of their system, as the first 15 minutes was great French defence and some great French pressure on England, and England capitulating, really.
Yeah, credit to French as well. They had a game plan that come out and put some pressure on England and get in their faces, and they did that. It was a game of 2 quarters, wasn't it? And all the coaches so far have talked about wanting a really good contest. Well, England got that, but for me, for all the wrong reasons. I thought they were really clunky. A lot of set restarts, some uncharacteristic errors like this one here, having to force out goal line dropouts, and that just alluded to more pressure being building.
They weren't without chances either. Great chances Courtney Winfield Hill doesn't take the numbers there.
6-3-4 there, he'd back her all day to take that and go out the back and get the right option. She plays front door, and again, just not quite got the ball in the hands, early catches, and the skills been way off, Danica.
Yeah, Grace Field there is, you know, the ball's a little bit high for her. She's running with power. We know how she runs, you know, and Courtney to get this ball out and to give it to somebody like Amy, who is a stalwart of this game, and she's your reliable one, and just not be able to carry that ball and keep it secure is just super uncharacteristic. You know, these girls need to relax and just reset a little bit.
Were you fearing the worst at that stage, or you were feeling it was going to come eventually?
Oh, I was worried for the girls, but as soon as they get across the board, I know that that's a settler for the girls, and that's the unfortunate thing for England. It's a thing we've had for years and years. 15, 20 minutes, as soon as that point goes down, we then come into our own, and, you know, going into this World Cup, it needs to be from minute 1.
Well, despite that poor opening 15 minutes from an England's perspective and some great French defence, it was the English that scored first through Holly Dodd.
Yeah, Grace Field and Liv Wood just started carrying really strong and direct, and having a bit more conservatism, getting up and making sure that they're playing ball, and it took energy out of the French players' legs, and it just gave some opportunities. Georgia Roach, outstanding ball from Tara Jones, squares up and just gives a short ball to Dodd there. It was just too powerful and quick.
Yeah, I think, you know, the link up between Georgia and Holly, they've played together for years. They're really young, so they know how each other works. They have this connection and this communication that they don't need to speak, a little bit like the Emily Rudge Jodie Cunningham connection, so they'll be really good to see them go together.
What was up to then a very good French defensive line started getting pulled apart on the edges. Happened again on the other side of the field with Caitlin Beaver's try, Jamie.
Yeah, lots of movement out the back, and just the 3 quarters getting a lot of space. The French, for me, just not getting back on side quick enough, and far too tight around the ruck, and playing out the back just gives Cunningham far too much time and space to put Beavers in corner.
It's really good that, you know, Courtney's there coming back into her own. She's really good at drawing that defence and holding a line, and the very last minute popping it off is what she's been doing now, which is given, you know, making the defence ask some questions.
And this was normal service resumed. Amy Hardcastle's try, a ferocious sight, no stopping her, 16-0 at this stage, and you're thinking England are back on an even keel.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't give Amy an inch of space. You know, she gets where water can't, and, you know, as soon as she's made that run and she's got set going, she's going to go over the try line.
Laurie Amberville doing a great job though in front of her. She's not had much joy, has she, Amy Hardcastle, compared to what we normally see from her.
Yeah, we were saying, weren't we, that the French have really done their research. They're cutting down Tara, they're cutting down Amy, they've got Georgia's number, and it's, you know, really great to see. Unfortunately here, Tara's made a break, back herself a little bit more, she would have been over then.
Then we're thinking 16-0 at half-time. France go in like that, they're very much in this game. England will say, well, we've got a healthy lead, but we've got plenty to improve upon. That Song Poo's try at the end of the game, that could be a narrative changer, certainly. well, it is for us at half-time and maybe in the second
You
half.
could tell by frustration from the French. When things didn't go right, they were devastated. They've come out with a game plan. They've talked about a story which ends in them winning this game, and I thought that was unlucky to be held up there. There was a blade of grass between ball and try line there, but just some really poor edge defending from England, and Son Push is taking advantage and diving over for 4 points.
Yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? That's the England numbering off there. And fantastic for France to get over. I'm really happy for them. But, you know, we've got Fran Golzorp and Leah Burke both inside that ruck.
OK, take us inside the dressing rooms. Who are the dominant voices now at half-time with the game poised as it is 16-4 to England?
I'll be looking at Jodie Cunningham, Emily Rudge, both to pick the team up. And then I want Courtney to really come into her own. She's a really level-headed player. She'll know where she's gone wrong. She'll know what the girls need to do. If she needs something more from them, she'll tell them, she'll let them know. You know, and then Tara Jones often goes under the radar at 9, and she needs to make sure that her half's speaking to her and the girls are available. We've seen them running individually at the minute up the middle. And that support play, we've seen the offloads from Grace, the offloads from Shona. Get back and get support in them.
I'm thinking if I'm Vincent Ballou in this dressing room, I'm encouraging these girls to keep their heads up and realise they're very much in this game.
Yeah, players like Alicia Syria in there, I think you've got to tell them we've got the bigger story here. You know, when you look at some of the results that we've had against England, we're well in this game. We've got an opportunity if we come out and start the third quarter like we started the first, put them under pressure, start that doubt growing in the England players' minds. Who knows where this could end up.
A short rest and a short time to recover for both the England and French sides before they do it all again. We've got the next 40 minutes from the Halliwell Jones Stadium coming up for you after this break. It's game one of our international double-header, and it's England with a 12-point half-time lead over the French as both build up to this year's World Cup. Join us after this. Game 2 of our international doubleheader sees Shaun Wane's England side ramp up their preparations for this year's World Cup as they go up against an All-Stars team coached by his former Wigan teammate, arguably the greatest that this country has ever produced. Ellery Hanley will send his All-Stars in to disrupt Shaun Wane's World Cup build-up. Well, we're going to bring you that game here on Sky Sports Arena, 5:45 p.m. kickoff. And just a note for your diaries, tomorrow we'll bring you the 2 best wheelchair sides in the world as England take on the current World Cup holders, France. That's 3 p.m. again on Sky Sports Arena. We're at the half-time point in Game 1 of our doubleheader. It's the women's side for England against their French counterparts. They lead 16 points to 4. Sampouche with a late try for France in what was a very abrasive first 40 minutes. The French are back out on the field, followed by England. Just a quick word from Jamie Jones and Danica Preem ahead of this second 40 minutes. Danica, you tipped England beforehand. Nerves?
Yeah, nerves, but a regroup, and the girls are really good, really reflective, and they'll come out and they know what they need to do now.
Yeah, they'll still get the win, but it's all about performance in second half. It has to be better if they want to prepare for World Cup.
And they will hope it is better than their second half performance against Wales last week in Pandy Park. Let's go back to our commentary team for this one. Standing by are John Wells, Terry O'Connor and Ben Pro.
Thanks very much, Brian. Yes, England in the box seat to extend their unbeaten sequence against the French. But I'm sure that Craig Richards will be wanting a vastly improved performance from his side in this second 40. 3 tries to 1 in that first period. Tries from Holly Dodd, from Caitlin Beavers and from Amy Hardcastle. Sampouche with the reply for France as Courtney Winfield-Hill. Mixed debut so far for her. She's been everywhere. Tara Stanley has been impressive. Maybe some more composure to get on the end of some of the chances that Courtney Winfield-Hill was creating in that first period. Perrine Montserrat will get us underway in this second half. And England, as they build towards the World Cup, looking for vastly improved performance, you feel. We'll have possession first up then, as Georgia Roche takes that ball in, and this is Vicky Whitfield.
And I think what everyone's expecting is to see a more of a ruthless edge in this second half. Look, yeah, back yourself, build on the strong goal forward like the first 2 carries that we've seen from Hoyle and Whitfield. But don't forget to play it. England have got some tremendous players, and they are in a battle here. Just 2 scores behind this French side. If they can get that field position, look, they'll score some tries.
Jodie Cunningham plays the ball as England get a set restart. Here is Hoyle now.
No! Looking for that one.
This is Rudge. Incredible international pedigree, 9 tries in the last 4 matches. Here is Cunningham again. We want a much better start to this second period, as they endured really in that first 40 as Winfield-Hill finds Roach. Here is Whitfield. Whitfield almost away. 20 metres from that French line. Jones. To her left is Hoyle.
Last.
Jones claps her hands. Watch the urgency. Here is Winfield-Hill, puts boot to ball. But that's far too strong in truth.
Yeah, it's a poor end to the first set, and it's a 7-tackle set in response for France. We were talking about England needing to scrub up in their attack. Well, do you know what? I don't think they've been allowed to. I think all the credit for this first half needs to go to the French team. We have high expectations of England. Their performance levels over the last couple of seasons and at domestic level have been great in the Women's Super League. And the French, I think, have put up a fantastic display of rearguard action in this first 40 minutes. So it's about earning the right. They've got to earn the right first. Get through the first couple of sets. Don't give away, extra tackles when unnecessary, like Winfield-Hill's just done. Work your way into the game, because they've got on the let's be frank, on the edges they've got the strike power.
Here is Varela for France. Work from Ramos.
Get square. Go 4.
She plays it 30 metres away. Barella. Kick is a good one and taken well by Winfield Hill.
Contact in the air. On top, okay. Ready with tap. Right there. Line.
Courtney Winfield Hill tackled in the air. Here is Emily Rudge. And 2 minutes gone, second half. Derek Hardman, the England assistant, joins us. Derek, the scoreboard in your favour, but perhaps not the performance you're looking for so far.
Oh, you know, at the end of the day, we're building pressure. We've defended a lot of our sets and probably not got what we wanted on the back end of it. But, you know, the girls have sort of got in the grind and they come out the back of it in the last 10 to 15 minutes. I think it was just a bit of execution that let us down.
You wanted a test from this French side. That's exactly what they're giving you.
Yeah, absolutely. We got the same sort of test last year, and we need to be better. They've been training together as a group, so that's what we want. For us to get better, we need good competition.
Derek, thanks very much for talking to us.
Yeah, thank you.
Cunningham for England.
And it's a heavy contact just after the ball had gone on Jodie Cunningham. Yeah, it's a penalty to England. Cunningham back on her feet, which is a good sign to start with. But it's the contact just after the pass here. In fact, that's quite late, actually. It's a shove in the back. That should be a yellow card. Yeah, it's late. It's well late. Yeah, and she's aware of that. And that's when a passer's at the most vulnerable. Relaxed after you have to be relaxed to pass a decent ball. You saw the neck snapping back of Jodie Cunningham. Thankfully, she's back on her feet. Yeah, I'll be surprised if there's not a yellow card given here, and rightly so. This is what we need to remove from our game. Because all the rule changes were about late hits on the passer. That was the big focus, and it was about player protection. And I think Pakul will be a lucky girl here if she doesn't see a card, because it's not just as the ball was passed. This is very, very late, and that's dangerous.
Yeah, number 8, yeah. Okay, placage vitale dangereux. La tête flexion s'il te plaît, carton jaune.
James Jones laying down the law, and it is a yellow card for Elodie Pakul. 10 minutes in the bin. England will have the numerical advantage.
Well, she knew straight away as soon as James Jones had spotted that, and it was...
Just wait a second.
He called her over. And she knew exactly what was going to happen. She put hands up in the air.
Okay,
she acknowledges that tackle hasn't helped the teammates. In the next 10 minutes, we'll see her sat on the sideline.
Wait!
Holly Dodd plays it for England, 30 metres or so away. Roach, this is Winfield Hill. Winfield Hill trying to carve through. She's still going. Thought about the offload, just about repelled by Alverne. Hoyle gets the ball away. That was Emily Rudge. This now Roach. Swarming around are the French defenders. A couple of chances left for England. Stanley. This is Winfield Hill. What will they set up here? Last chance for England. Tara Jones waits. It's a short ball this time for Hoyle. Can she get away over? She can't. More good defence from France.
Well, asking some questions, weren't they? Winfield Hill in that set of 6 was tackled on 2 occasions, so a half-back that's willing to take on the defensive line. Running the ball on the last play, Tara Jones just wanted to pick up Hoyle. He was looking for that crash ball really towards the sticks.
Whilst this is a huge opportunity for England in terms of numerical advantage, it's also a test of composure, because they're going to start to see holes in that France defence. And the danger there is that you overplay. They've got to again maintain the composure. The France are down here on the short side. The game will be stopped, or should be stopped any second. There's an England player down in back play. The referee's not seen that or not acknowledged that just yet. French working their way through the set, working their way upfield.
France continue with Manan Samara. It's a good run down the centre of the field, but she's lost it.
Yeah, this play should be stopped. Winfield Hill, we think, is down in back play. The referee should be stopping this game. and he's not.
Well, they'll be stopping it now because the doctor's come onto the field.
That'll be zero tackle. Time is off, doctor's on.
I think he was waiting. The physio
Mark off me there, please, Liam.
was on the field, giving some attention, but as soon as the doctor comes onto the field, that's when the referee acknowledges that he needs to stop the play.
Yeah, and she's not in great shape, Courtney Winfield Hill. That'll be a real concern for Craig Richards, the England coach, watching on. And she came alive, didn't she, in the last set in attack? 2 carries.
That's fine. No rush at all, right?
Again, all the due care and attention given to the England player who's down. Didn't get a clear vision of what had happened. But she's certainly feeling the effects of a defensive effort. And this will be an opportune time for the rest of the England team to get together and have a conversation about those issues that were mentioned at half-time, about composure, about taking your time, building pressure. All the things we talk about when you put in an attacking set together. Well, that's good news. That's a good sign. There's a physio, Chris Mellin, has given the thumbs up. It was just a bad contact, a heavy contact with Shona Hoyle. A bit of friendly fire there. Yeah, and she got head in round the back and took the brunt of Shona Hoyle, but there's a smile on her face. She's an irrepressible character, isn't she, Courtney Winfield Hill, with a great backstory as well, and tough to boot.
That'll be a relief for the family watching back in Australia. Courtney Winfield Hill, her debut continues. 2019 Woman of Steel, and a big part of this England attacking setup.
Simple. Okay. England, tackle 0. Time is on.
England then 5 metres away from the halfway line. Hoyle takes that first carry.
No, jumping forward. Don't look for it.
She's been dangerous, hasn't she, out dummy half. Tara Jones, very, very consistent in the hooking role. As is Holly Dodd, who again, never ceased to be impressed. Really strong carry of the ball, really tough defender as well.
What about the handoff from Dodd? Here is Cunningham. England looking for more points here. Goldthorpe. Support from Burke, but it's a good tackle. It locks the ball up as well from Songpush. 5 metres away. Kick comes in from Roach. It's a teasing kick. It could go anywhere. And Courtney Winfield Hill just beaten to it in the air.
Yeah, was it Syria who just gets the ball out of backfield?
Good work, boys.
It's a clever little kick. Intelligence from Roach under some pressure. Syria. She could feel the 2 England players, and Courtney Hill and Tyra Stanley, just bearing down on it. I think Tara Jones has just left the field now, and Kira Bennett's on.
Kira Bennett, the lead hooker, takes the field as Cunningham in the shallow dropout again. Big chance for England here. Bennett waits. It's the ball away from Whitfield. Driving down the centre of the field. It's great position, this. To the left is Winfield Hill. And it was Stanley. Here is Hardcastle, close to the line. Unstoppable. She is. Second try for Amy Hardcastle. The second half just 7 minutes old. And a double in Warrington for Amy Hardcastle. Hat-trick in Perpignan almost exactly 5 years ago. And now 2 tries and counting as England move back into form.
Well, the lead hooker onto the field. Look at this for a pass. Perfect. Hits Courtney Hill and Tyra Stanley. Well, she knows the powerful player that's outside her in Amy Hardcastle. And like we were saying in that first half, that is a good, strong left edge. Some of the best players that you will see in the World Cup come the end of the year. And they were in an England shirt. Courtney Hill, then to Stanley. Do a decent job of just holding up those defenders. Then the power of Hardcastle to get over the line. And that's to the delight of the fans who are liking to celebrate. They've turned out in decent numbers to watch. There's some genuine role models in the England shirt there for some of the young players that we see getting an opportunity now. You know what Jenna was saying before, the Pilch youngsters under sevens naming aside, outstanding.
Yeah, just when you get another look at this try, particularly given that, just bear in the back of your mind, France are down a man. Stanley just misses with the goal. Take another look at this. That first pass, you mentioned it, it's so important because it cuts out 3 defenders and then really makes a mess of that right edge defence. And that's exactly what you need to give Amy Hardcastle the ball. Brilliant from Stanley. Hardcastle taking full advantage, and she's very happy with herself.
Look at the reaction on the England teammates too. Craig Richards watches on, and we can go back downstairs to Jenna.
Yeah, I was just speaking to the England doctor about Courtney Winfield-Hill, who we saw down in back play for a few minutes. She just got some knees to the ribs. She was uncomfortable for a few minutes, but as you can see, she's back out there and she's okay.
Thanks, Jenna. All going a lot better for England in the early stage of this second half as it was in that first period. As Syria restarts for France. Trapped by Roach. Here is Whitfield, who's been really impressive from the substitutes bench this afternoon. Good run from Hoyle. And Bennett.
Is that a high shot? And Jodie Cunningham. Again, it's some... You look at Hoyle, you look at Whitfield, the way that they return the ball on the ball on the back of that. And she just fakes to pass the ball over to the left-hand side, Jodie Cunningham. She cops a high shot, and now France under a bit more pressure here.
Anaïs Fourcroy with the tackle. So England with a big chance, but Whitfield's gone without it. They've coughed the ball up on the very first play.
Yeah, well, they'll be disappointed, won't they? Quite a few mistakes last week when they played against Wales as well. The timings, just the genuine mistakes that they make, and you can't do that when you're playing the likes of Australia and New Zealand on tackle one.
This is what I was talking about, that extra space that you're going to see, particularly as a half. And, you know, Winfield Hill will have seen that. They'll have seen a thin defensive edge and thought she could send Vicky Whitfield through, you know, not considering the tackle. I understand you try and take opportunities when they present themselves, but some of them, they're not true opportunities. You've not worked your way into setting up the position.
Biville played the ball. Syria now. It's going to turn Stanley around, and the chase is good, but that's good footwork from Stanley.
She has got the X factor at the back, hasn't she? She's really exciting to watch, Tara Stanley.
And it's the footwork that gets her out of trouble. Take a look at that. Beautiful pirouette and beat 3 tacklers. Really important play. You want your fullbacks to do exactly what she's done in attack, giving Hardcastle the try assist, and she's just as safe at the back as well. Really experienced, really dependable.
Massive hit there from Ramos as well. Here is Goldthorpe. Bennett. Whitfield now. Takes 2 to ground with it. Last one for England. Bennett gets the ball away. Here is Winfield Hill. Bounces for Akpa. The Catalan goddesses. Song Push. So comes in from Darden. Jodie Cunningham. Wide for Manon Samara.
Good strong carry as well from Samara. And the French are not going anywhere, are they? They're a player down on the field. The defence has still got the sting that we saw in the first couple of minutes. Just that execution letting them down at crucial moments.
Caitlin Beavers all over the attacker there. Manon Samara. Kick straight down the throat of Stanley. That's a dangerous thing to do. Good tackle, important tackle from Borak. Bennett. Goldthorpe.
And Syria seems to be struggling on the right-hand side. He got some attention.
Time off.
I think it was Syria that kicked the ball, and Caitlin Beavers was stood at first marker, and she, as soon as that ball was played, she got out, put some pressure on it. The struggling, looks like she's maybe popped the rib cartilage.
Well, that's a fair challenge. It's in the process of kicking, but they can be really painful. Rib cage opened up. Just comes in. In fact, you could argue that was a little bit late there from Caitlin Beavers. Kick pressure from the inside. And Syria does look in a little bit of discomfort. Just taking a breath, composing herself. The smile on the face is always a good sign.
Former judo champion. Made of tough stuff. 14th French cap today. Played in that game in Perpignan in October. Holly Dodd.
Yeah, and Syria and Varela easily the most capped French players. 13 caps apiece. This is their 14th apiece today. And more caps combined than the rest of this side put together.
That's a good kick, isn't it, from Winfield Hill? And that's good chase as well.
Turns Akbar around, but Beavers immediately in her face. And now England will really apply the pressure in defence here.
And again, Jodie Cunningham from marker just working really hard, trying to stop France from getting forward, but another set restart for France.
And it's not been too costly, has it, the 10-minute? France now back to their full complement of players. Elodie Pakul back on the field. They've conceded 4 points in the process. I think that's net gain result for France.
They've got possession now. Alverne played the ball.
Good shot.
Nice shot. Was that Whitfield?
Whitfield it was, yeah.
Yeah, she's been really impressive, Vicky Whitfield, hasn't she?
Borak. She's come up with some big shots herself. Another tackle of Goldthorpe. Pressure immediately applied to Varela. She's going backwards. She's smuggled the ball back somehow. Akbar, who picked up the pieces, and now Pakul.
Yeah, that was good work from Leah Burke as well. She needed to come in off a wing there because she would outnumbered.
Borak. Syria. It's Tara Stanley running this back. Gets into full flow so quickly. Beavers on the back of that. Two of the speed merchants in this England side. Bennett leads teammate. Here is Hardcastle. Shot comes in from Pakul. This is Cunningham. Nice hands. Looking for the return, but prevented by Borak. So Cunningham, though, can go again. Really nice pass again for Roche. She's got support on the outside.
What a fend.
Could be a try here for Burke.
Fantastic.
She's put down a metre short. What a tackle that was from Akbar. Still not done, England, though. And Georgia Roche goes in. Georgia Roche for the second try of the second half for England. As we approach the hour mark. Class again from the hosts.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jodie Cunningham was the architect of much of that. Look, she's a brilliant passer of a ball. She's a fantastic runner of a ball, but she's a brilliant passer of a ball as well. Takes it short side, waits, commits the defender. Roche out on the outside, and Leah Burke pulled down with a try-saving tackle for Melissa Akbar. But look at Roche, assessing what's going on, takes a great ball from dummy half. Goes over for another try for England. That's a fantastic try-saving tackle. It was in vain in the end. That's a great ball from dummy half and a lovely little sharp left foot step from Georgia Roche. Leah Burke in full flight, that's a fair fed, but that is one of the best tackles you'll see. Just after that, Fran Goldthorpe, lovely crisp pass, and that's a nice little hard step off the left foot. And Georgia Roche gets a try for England.
The woman of steel 4 years ago with Castleford, Georgia Roche. And now Tara Stanley to improve matters 20-point cushion as things stand. She's found the target, and England lead by 26 points to 4 now.
Like you said, John, the work that Jodie Cunningham does, she knew exactly what she was doing. When she's got back involved and she's gone to the short side, look, when she gets the ball, she points at the defender where she's going. That then enables the 3 players outside her to hit that space, knowing that Jodie Cunningham is going to get to a certain area on the field. Leah Burt doesn't panic, she plays the ball, and then the impressive, creative Georgia Roach scores the try.
Now in the colours of Leeds Rhinos, the 22-year-old. Spells previously with Castleford, as I mentioned, and Featherstone as well. 2 tries on her international debut in Carcassonne as well. Tara Stanley for England. Hardcastle can't get through, but can get the pass away. Cunningham on the end of that. Tackle comes in from Syria. Decent play of the ball for Bennett. First of our double-header, remember. England against the Combined Nations All-Stars follows this. 5:45 kickoff on Sky Sports Arena. And tomorrow, England and France head-to-head again. England take on the world champions in the Wheelchair International. And there are the French wheelchair side. It's on Sky Sports Arena for you tomorrow. Cunningham. Urgency. Just to play that ball quickly despite the attentions of Borak. Roach with the kick. It's a clever one as well. Could go anywhere. Goldthorpe on the end of it. Momentarily, it's the last one. But she may have sustained a collision here. She's got up. But that was good French defence.
Yeah, it's a nicely weighted kick from Georgia Roach. And the penalty is going to go against England for offside from the kick here. It's inside, the inside chase from Tara Stanley. She makes contact. But she doesn't, she's within 10. So just a bit over keen from Tara. Approaching the hour mark, 26 points to 4, which probably doesn't tell the full story, does it, of just how competitive this game has been.
As France lose the ball, but they're going to get a penalty for a ball steal here.
I thought at first it might have been a loose carry, but you could see Bennett's hand. The number 15, she comes in, she has a little tug of the ball just as she's falling off the tackle.
Yeah, Vicky Whitfield in that tackle as well.
I think Craig Richards, the England coach, is in a pretty decent place, really. He's got some competition for places, girls that haven't made the side, not played in the last 2 tests. So he'll be pretty confident for the back end of the year.
5 Leeds Rhinos, 8 St Helens players and 4 from the York City Knights. The top 3 teams in the Betfred Women's Super League represented, as are their top 3 counterparts in the French Elite 1.
Not in control.
Bennett.
And England back in possession. It was a mistake, wasn't it, from Borak? She's given England back possession. This is where I want to see Cunningham pre-line, but not like that. Over too much mustard on the pass. And a reprieve for France. That's generally where she's so good. Pre-line, assessing the defence. The weight of the pass was all wrong, and the French with an opportunity and they can play.
Biville picked it up. This is Borak. Vincent Balou watching on. It'll be Sarah to post more points here as Bessali is cut down. Tackle there from Bennett. Syria. That was Varela to the left-hand side, but Song Poosh can't keep hold of it. Already in for a try already this afternoon. She can't make it 2 here.
It's Borak's pass that just sits just behind Song Poosh, and you can see the frustration on Balouk's face. He knows that's an opportunity. And at this level, they've really got to be taken. And against this opposition, they've really got to be taken.
Such a strong England lineup on the field, and so many not making it. The likes of Savannah Andrade, Beth Stark, Zoe Harris, Carrie Roberts, Rachel Woozy and Shani Crowell, of course.
I'm surprised that she didn't get in the side, to be honest. Shani Crowell, St Helens put forward. She played in last year's grand final, got player of the match against Leeds Rhinos. I say those competition for places, Craig Richards been able to call on all those girls come the end of the year. Exciting times for the girls' game.
Here is the captain, Emily Rudge.
Tell you what, that Parkour, the number 8 for France, has put herself about.
As has Burak for the visitors. Benetta once more, and Cunningham.
So 3, 4. Move, debut.
Not
Debut.
having it their own way here, England.
That was 4.
And Cunningham again.
Last.
It's French defence. Impressive. Last one. Courtney Winfield-Hill with the kick. With a return by Akper. Good chase from England, led by Hardcastle.
This gives them so much direction, doesn't she, Winfield-Hill? And also say the same about her teammate, Georgia Roach, over on the right-hand side.
I think the more that they play together as well, it's the halves combination at the Leeds Rhinos. I think the better they're going to get. I think they really complement one another.
Nice work between Basali and Buville there. France down that right-hand side, and they're going there again now. It's Buville once more.
It's a real trademark of their play, is it? The short side play. Alive to the opportunities they've got.
Approaching the last 15 minutes. Varela. That's Akper. Mensah now goes without it, goes backwards though. And it's back to 1, in fact. So Margot Canal can continue for France.
Yeah, Georgia Roach made a play for that, stripped the ball. That's the reason why the French side will get another set of 6.
Burak initially. Doreen Samara. A Scar player. Syria. Basali. 5 metres away. England will be desperate to keep their line intact here, but they're going for it here, and Burak has got over. Maëlys Burak gets the second France try. The Catalan goddess, voted the best French player in 2019. And the 18-year-old from Marseille has just gone over for the second French try.
And you could see it building as well. You can see the confidence building in the French side as well, because it's all based around a really stern, aggressive defence. And they get into position. They see a late retreat in Emily Rudge, and she just goes on that nice little outline, and she knows that she's going to get an opportunity to have a crack at the try line before she gets serious attention from the defence. That's well taken, well earned, well executed. Well taken try from dummy half.
Marseille-born. They're delighted to double that French try tally. Syria looking for her first success with the boot. This for double figures for France. And she's made it. England ahead, though, by 26 points to 10.
Well, it's clever play. You see Emily Rudge, she just couldn't quite get back to the line to come forward, and Courtney Hill, well, she was looking and trying to defend what was in front of her. And clever play from Bora. The French camp will be happy to get some more points, but you give them that field position. And when we talked about in that first half, any French team, whether it be the men's or the women's, they do like to throw the ball around, they do like to offload, They are very physical in the right areas of the field.
On the kicker. Comes on.
England kick off, don't forget. More Women's Super League action for you this time. Thursday at 5 o'clock on Sky Sports Arena. St Helens and Leeds going head-to-head. It's a repeat of the Challenge Cup final and, of course, last year's Grand Final. And 12 of the 17 on show this afternoon will feature perhaps in that game for those two sides.
Another good kick-off from Tara Stanley. The French side have scored 2 tries. On the back of scoring them 2 tries, they've then made a mistake from the kick-off. That's something that they've got to improve on.
Liv Wood drives it into the heart of that French defence. Inside the last 13 minutes now as Bennett gets that ball away and Paige Travis is on. 9 tries in 8 appearances this season. Ball floated by Roach. Winfield Hill, now it's Tara Stanley looking to put the footwork on. Cunningham to step her way to the line. Winfield Hill turns it back. Grace Field close to the line. Hard to stop. Bennett. Pass to Stanley. She can't find Beavers. And again, this England attack not quite hitting where I'm sure Craig Richards would want it to.
Well, Emily Rudd, as soon as she passed that ball, she knew there was a mistake. She'll be disappointed with herself, the England captain. And Beavers just acknowledges the fact that there was a chance there, an opportunity, and Craig Richards, like I'm sure he would have said in the build-up to this game, we need to cut out the mistakes. The amount of mistakes they made last week was too many. You get into the business end of the year now, when you're going to be playing against the best in the world in a competition that you might not have another chance in your career.
They face Brazil at Headingley on the 1st of November. Then it's Canada in Wigan. And then Papua New Guinea back at Headingley on November the 9th. That's England's schedule.
Well, this should be another possession to France. I'll tell you what, but for an England arm, that could have been a break. Syria, and it's the pass there that's just touched by Beavers, I think, on the way through. Because there was an overlap there, and Beville, we know how dangerous she looks in open space. Yeah, and it is. It's another possession for the French. An important contribution there from Beavers.
Let's put a spring in the step of this French side as they form the scrum. Vincent Ballou's men will be based in York for that World Cup. They face New Zealand on the 2nd of November and then Australia 4 days later. And finish off with a clash against the Cook Islands. Tournament semi-finals also in York before the decider at Old Trafford on November the 19th. That's what it's building towards. And at the moment, England not with the performance that they would want. Massive encouragement for France, though, in that difficult group. Set restart as well for the visitors. Sarah Maynard cruises on to that ball.
Go.
Her debut this afternoon. Varela. Now Borak.
Come back. Come back in there.
Try.
Wait.
A few minutes ago.
Good work. Okay.
I beg your pardon, that was Ramos.
Well taken by Stanley, nicely tidied up again. I've been really impressed by the fullback. She's caught a high shot there as well. I think it was just a stray arm. So Stanley, one of the better performers for England today. There's a knock on by France. Stanley's tidied up. I think she just wore a little shot in that tackle. You know, relieving pressure for England. You're looking at some of the key performers for England. Of course, Jodie Cunningham. Of course, Emily Rudge. I think Liv Wood again has enhanced her reputation. She's in her second stint. Paige Travis, I'm looking to see more from her. She gets her opportunity, just supporting that run from Liv Wood.
I've been impressed with Liv Wood and Hoyle, number 14 that came on for Wood. Both of those players have really took the battle to France.
There's Travis almost through there. Bennett. Winfield Hill.
She did the right thing there, Hill. The outside defence had come up and she realised the pass option was too much of a risk, took the tackle, and she's been rewarded from a penalty. Too much going on around the ruck. The referee's been keen on this. He's been keen all day, but this one was justified. Just that second effort in defence. Yeah, she's trying to get up and play that ball. And just forced down, and it was Elisa Syria who cut off the pass option for Winfield Hill. But there's another set of 6 now to defend for France.
Winfield Hill gets the ball back so that Bennett can start this attack. Here is Winfield Hill again. Grace Field in support. 17 away. Kira Bennett barks the instruction. She goes to the right to Roach. Again, the ball's gone to ground. France pick it up.
Yeah, it's just overplaying again from England. You look at the game, I think England certainly got the better players. I think as we enter the last 7 minutes of this game, a 16-point margin is probably fair, actually, and I think that is credit, massive credit to the French. There is work to do for this England side. I get it that there's a debut here in a key position for Courtney Winfield Hill, and we know what an outstanding player she is. That combination between Winfield Hill and Georgia Roach will build. They've got Tara Stanley at the back. There's Winfield Hill. We've got Tara Stanley at the back with all the experience in the world. But as a collective, there is work to do for Craig Richards.
Just a 16-point margin. There's 36 points in Perpignan last October. Tackle from Winfield Hill. That was on Syria. Doreen Samara.
Well, Emily Rudge get that ball. Well, that was overplaying, especially from the French side. And Emily got 5 minutes left. It's Amy Hardcastle with a decent charge again.
On a hat-trick, of course, Amy Hardcastle. Bennett gets the pass away, Liv Wood. That was Jodie Cunningham. It's a short ball again, and Georgia Roach goes over for her second try. Jodie Cunningham, the architect again, and Georgia Roach on the receiving end. All smiles from those two, all smiles from the England side. They've cut France apart once more, and now England hit 30 in Warrington.
Well, things seem to happen when Jodie Cunningham gets her hands on the ball. And what you like is how close she goes to the line. She knows what defender she's trying to attract. And she knows Georgia Roach is going to be pushing up, but you can see that she's set her eyes on Maner. As soon as she pulls out the line, makes the wrong decision in defence, the gap opens up. She just turns her hips, leaves a big gap, and Georgia Roach, with a brave, strong line, pushes up and scores the second try.
I still think that's when she's at her most dangerous. We know Jodie Cunningham's a fantastic runner of a ball, but boy, she's one of the best I've seen as a passer, just anticipating what a defence is going to do. Good discipline as well from Georgia Roach. She knew she had to hold that line, maintain that live option, that pass option, for as long as possible. And Tara Stanley now with the opportunity to extend this lead, to open this lead up to 22 points.
Stanley finds the target. Georgia Roach has a double in Warrington, just as she did on her international debut in Carcassonne. And England with a 22-point cushion now.
And it's a great pass from dummy half as well to set the play on its way from Kiara Bennett. And that's a beautifully delayed pass. You're right, Terry, she gets right into the defensive line. And she's got the nerve to hold, to wait for the defence to blink. And when she does, 9 times out of 10, she finds the right option. And she's played plenty of rugby at 6. She's a ball playing loose forward. and players will do well to follow Georgia Roach's example. Just hit good lines on the outside of it, and she will find you.
So versatile, Jodie Cunningham, reigning Woman of Steel, of course. She's played all through the back line. Loose forward today, and a real talent.
She tops the carries, she tops the meters, she tops the tackle count as well. You know, she's all over this. She's left a footprint all over this game.
Big run again, gets England rumbling forward. Grace Field, play it for Bennett. And more fireworks for England late on. Travis.
That's a good run. That's a really good run. That's what Paige Travis does well.
Play on, come on.
Bennett, Cunningham, trying to cut through herself this time.
Reculé.
Support from Stanley. Winfield Hill, over the top this time. Hardcastle trying to go through. Support on the outside from Beavers. Cuts back infield. Still going, she's taken a heavy one, and then a second collision there comes in from Sarah Menard.
And that was definitely high. There was a strip, wasn't there, from Sarah Menard, but the initial contact, take a look at that. Catches her right around the chops. There was two contacts, wasn't there? There was Gail Alverne was the high shot, and then that wasn't too bad either. In the walls, Caitlin Beavers.
Just as she recovered from one, hit by the other, still receiving treatment.
The previous one was a penalty for me, and then we've got high contact and the ball's field anyway here, so we're going to have a penalty here.
There's a shot there as well. There's a shot off the ball in back play that we think is being assessed.
Okay.
Conversation, meanwhile, between England coaching staff. Beavers on her feet.
Penalty here is a great advantage, right? High tackle, tackle there, high tackle.
And that's what the penalty is. The resulting penalty from those two high shots in succession on Caitlin Beavers.
Okay, time's on.
Can England finish with a flourish? Grace Field.
Field into that French defensive line, centre field for England. 2.5 to go. Bennett. That's Roach. Here is Cunningham. Further wide is Goldthorpe, and Goldthorpe's going to look for the line herself. Fran Goldthorpe does provide a final flourish for England. All from the penalty. And the 19-year-old Fran Goldthorpe scored the opening 2 tries in Wales last Sunday. Try against the same opposition on this ground 12 months ago. And now Fran Goldthorpe strikes against the French in Warrington.
Well, if the last try was all about the craft of Jodie Cunningham, this one from the back of a penalty with multiple shots, one a lazy arm across the face, and the second with a bit more behind it from Mensah. If the first was about craft, this was about pace. Ball out on the edges, early ball to a centre who can run. A centre with wings for heels. And Fran Goldthorpe, the Leeds Rhinos three-quarter, puts an impressive finish to what has been a much better second half. Not without its resistance, it has to be said, from France. A much improved France side. England have had to work for it. Craig Richards, I think that's a look of relief as much as anything else. The scoreline has now blown out to 36 points to 10. But I'll say it again, as I said at half-time, it does not tell the true story of this test, when it has been, and it has been a real test for England.
It just makes that scoreline look a bit better, doesn't it? 7 tries England have scored. Fran Goldthorpe into the corner. Can this be goal by Tara Stanley?
It's a great attempt again from Stanley, but just wide of the target. 36 points to 10 in favour of Craig Richards' side.
She does a decent job, doesn't she, Fran Goldthorpe? She doesn't panic. She can see the try line in front of her. She knows that she's running out of space. Leah Burke, maybe if that ball would have been tipped onto her, she would have got bundled over the sideline. So it was good play from her.
Time off.
Like John said, this has been a real tough encounter for England.
Okay. Time on.
Maybe not the performance that the coaching staff wanted, but they have been given a big examination here, and that will stand them in good stead with the World Cup less than 5 months away. The hooter sounds, and it's a comprehensive win for England. There's the reaction from Craig Richards. Smiles eventually, but he will be not happy with elements of that performance. France have given his side a real test, but 7 tries to 2 has seen England come through it comfortably. Bigger examinations to come in the World Cup as they ramp up their preparation for that tournament. But France go the same way as Wales, in emphatic fashion, really. Will work on the performance, but the result is a good one for England. They've won the first half of this doubleheader by 36 points to 10.
Ben, John, Terry, thank you very much. Absolutely a reminder, we've got the England men against the Combined Nations All-Stars coming up. First, though, a review of that England win, 36 points to 10. Over France in the company of Jamie Jones-Buchanan and Danica Preem. And it's Danica we're going to start with. Your honest assessment of that performance.
Oh, look, a win's a win, and the girls need to take a little bit from that. But if I'm being honest, I think the girls are going to be a little bit disappointed in their performance. They're going to be disappointed in a bit of some of the errors, the completion rate, and just, you know, they didn't capitalise on having that one-man overlapper, you know, for that 10 minutes, and they probably should have been a few more points up because of that. A lot to build on, you know. They've got 16 weeks now until the World Cup starts for them, so hopefully in that next 16 weeks they can right some wrongs.
The team spirit's outstanding. They're all giving each other a cuddle there. Neil nor Danica, that those girls are their own biggest critic. And when they reflect on that game, I'm sure, as he's saying, they'll be really disappointed, as will Craig Richards. But they look like a team that don't play together very often, and that's the case that they don't. And that was part of what the purpose of today was. But there weren't enough, for me, glimpses in there to show that there's a good side. They need to start the game better. They need to start the second half better. Start at both halves, and then I think the goal line D, a lot of concentration, a bit more talking, and a little bit more detail in that.
You're right to point out that the international games are all too infrequent. The counter-argument may be that they had a run-out last Sunday against Wales, and some of the somewhat sloppy play we saw against Wales was evident again in this performance. I'd put it to you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the biggest thing about our game at the minute is we're growing and we're developing, and these girls here come from 3 teams. These are top 3 teams in our league. They're not used to coming up against pressure. They're not particularly resilient when it comes to their match days, and to come across, you know, countries and teams that are putting a bit of pressure on, it's going to test them mentally as well as physically, and that's, I think, a real key issue for these girls.
Well, you selected the player of the match, and it has gone to the French number 4, Laurent Biville, who is standing by with Jenna.
Yeah, thanks very much, Brian. Laurent Biville, congratulations. You are the player of the match. You didn't get the win, but that was really an impressive performance from the French side, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think we worked really hard the last week, and we really proved that we are a very good team, that we are all close together. Then we're still working really hard to try to beat this big team, and I think now it's time to focus on the next game. So it's going to be the World Cup, so we have a lot of work to do now, but we're still proud of what we've done, and I think we've been very aggressive on the game, on the tackle, and we still need to work on little things, but I'm very proud of the team today. So
when you look at that 80 minutes that's just passed, what is the most pleasing aspect?
I don't know. I think what is different now, it's that we all very we know what we have to work on, and the team, the staff, the coaching staff is very close to us, so they are very supportive, and I think we can make something on October, but for now we just enjoy time in England. The last time we've played here was years ago, so we are very grateful for this moment, and yeah, just very happy to live this moment now.
You mentioned October there, just over 4 months to go until the World Cup. What will that performance do for confidence ahead of the end of year tournament?
I think today this game shows us that we can make very good thing on the field if we are very confident, and if we can play the game we can play, we can go forward on the field, and we even make them dote sometimes. And I think we will see what we've done today next week, but I think we can do great things. We just need to get more confident, and I think today was a good day for that.
Well, Lorianne, congratulations. You are the player of the match.
Thank you so much.
Yes, congratulations. And here is Emily Rudge getting the National Lottery trophy from chair of the RFL, Simon Johnson, on a brilliant personal day for her in which she won a record-extending 26th England cap. And they lift the National Lottery trophy, having beaten France 36 points to 10. Next action for France will be a warm-up game before they take on New Zealand on November 2nd in the World Cup. That will be the day after the double header at Headingley that sees Papua New Guinea take on Canada after England open up their World Cup campaign against Brazil. It's all getting very real for these girls very quickly.
Yeah, absolutely. And I've got to go back and mention the National Lottery and the funding that's done for the women's game. You need to remember these girls are not professional athletes, and the National Lottery funding has meant that during COVID we could play the leagues and we could become this elite status. So, you know, having that funding and moving forward into the World Cup has been really pivotal to A, make sure the girls get the game time, and B, make sure that they're playing with the standards that they should be playing in with this elite pathway. So building towards the World Cup has been fantastic.
Let's get straight back down to Jenna, who is standing by with the England head coach, Craig Richards. Let's get his thoughts on that performance.
Yeah, thanks very much, Brian. The victorious head coach is alongside me. You wanted a test for England today. Do you feel like you got one?
Yeah, definitely. In parts, it was a real good all-international game where France are always improving. They're big, strong, physical like we expected. So that was great. I thought it was fantastic.
According to our stats, after the opening 10 minutes, it was France, in fact, who had 94% of the possession. Why do you think it was so difficult for your girls to get their hands on the ball early on?
Nerves, penalties, mistakes. It's all about that. But you know something, I'll flip that on its head. We defended our line like it meant something, and a team that can defend has always got the opportunity to go away and win handsome like we did in the end.
And when you look ahead to October, just over 4 months to go until the World Cup, where do you want to see your side improve?
Oh, listen, there's more consistency. I thought some of our shape was absolutely fantastic. You know, we've got a couple of guys that have debuted again on top of 3 that debuted last week, and some of the shapes we throw in are great. We just got to understand each other a little bit more. But listen, I'm absolutely over the moon with a lot of what we did. Is there improvement? Yeah, there is, because we're striving to be perfect.
Well, Craig Richards, you got the win today. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We'll hear from your opposite number now, Vincent Ballou, the head coach of France. Vincent, you said you wanted a better performance than that from October. I think you got one.
Yes, it was really a good game, a good match. We played against a big team of England. Big players, very fast, very strong, good strategic, was very good. I have nothing to regret about my team. There was a big team, there were a real big team. Now we know where we are, we have to work. Is the reality really big, is very hard. Every fault, every problem is sanctioned, you understand? I said to the girls, they are to keep the head up and look in front of her, because we have to work again. But today it was a good game for us.
Just speaking to Lorianne, who was the player of the match, she said that this performance today will give your team an incredible amount of confidence ahead of the World Cup. Would you agree?
Sorry?
Would you agree that this game today will give your team an incredible amount of confidence ahead of the World Cup?
I don't understand, I'm sorry.
You must get a lot out of this performance. Confidence?
Yes. But Lorianne put the team up. His discipline, his mental is higher than the other players. She's very experimented, and I know we have to look his game, to watch his game, to take example.
Well, Vincent Ballou, thank you so much for talking to us.
I'm very sorry for my English, but I do my best.
Your English is far better than my French, so thank you.
Thank you for this moment.
Merci, Vincent. Balou, excellent. Thank you, Jenna. His reflections on a 36 points to 10 defeat. Well, I say emphasising to his players, no doubt, that every mistake gets punished at this level. And no doubt when they're facing against England, they're facing one of the top teams in the world. 16-4, though, at half-time to England. Sim-binning early on in the second half. One that England weren't able to capitalise on enough, in your mind?
No, not at all. You know, these girls can throw the ball around. We know Kira Bennett came onto the field, and between Courtney, Kira and Georgia, they played together, you know, in the club level. And, you know, that to me should have been where they capitalised, and, you know, and they can move this ball around. Unfortunately, just didn't mean to make it. But now we see, Courtney throwing the ball around. She hits out to Amy, who is just an absolute powerhouse to get over that field.
OK, Elodie Pacoul's back on the field then. We see Georgia Roach go over to make it 26 points to 4 after a break down the wing.
Yeah, and I agree with Craig Richards. I think some of the shapes in the ball movement was outstanding. Georgia Roach taking most of that break there with a bit of a sidestep, and just kept putting shapes on England. But again, the goal line D for me wasn't quite good enough. France taking advantage here. Just a real basic dummy half scoot and getting over and keeping themselves in the contest. Cunningham, short ball, squared up, Georgia Roach going in for a second. And listen, they're the little bits that they need to keep work on. It's not perfect. Some of the execution weren't quite on the money, but there are some really nice shapes that they'll put in review. A little bit like this one, you get a one-on-one with Goldthorpe and a wonderful finish and put down. Bit of an air pull at the end there, Danica.
Yeah, there always is. You know, it's never on purpose. It's always a little bit accidental, is that, but that's the nature of the game and the girls.
10 late points, though, I suppose. It gives a better reflection on the scoreboard, but it's not maybe what Craig Richards and his side will look at.
No, absolutely not. But, you know, to get those points towards the end of the game shows that the girls have got that resilience to keep pushing and keep moving forward. They'll take a lot away from today, individually and as a team, and that's going to be a massive growth for them in the next 16 weeks.
Yep, as we said, it's a huge international weekend here on Sky Sports. We've got a double header today coming up a little later. We've got England men against the Combined Nations All-Stars. Tomorrow from Manchester, we'll bring you the two best wheelchair sides in the world as England take on the World Cup holders, France. And Jenna Brooks is standing by with the gentleman who will be our special guest on Sky Sports. Jenna.
He certainly will. James Simpson is alongside me. Rugby League World Cup ambassador, England international, the captain, coach of the Leeds Rhinos. Also alongside us, you might notice 3 World Cups. We've got the wheelchair, the men's and the women's. James, for the first time in the history of the World Cup, we see these 3 competitions running simultaneously. How significant is that?
I think it's quite hard to say just how big it is, really. It's absolutely incredible. I mean, wheelchair rugby league has been in the shadows for quite a while, and it's because of this World Cup now we've managed to elevate the whole game of wheelchair rugby league. It puts our players on that same level with the men's team, the women's team. All the players are getting treated exactly the same, and it is absolutely phenomenal. It's making us give more as players because we want to be there so much at the end of the year.
Brian Carney mentioned this just before. As we know, we've got a wheelchair game, a very important game live on Sky Sports. England up against France, world number 1 France up against world number 2. For people at home who may never have watched a game of wheelchair rugby league, sell it to them. Why should they be tuning into Sky Sports tomorrow?
You'll hear this a lot, but it's just rugby league. It is rugby league in a wheelchair. All the laws of the game are exactly the same. So in the running game of rugby league, when something's 10 metres, whether it's defence game back 10 metres, a 20-metre restart, that's 4 metres and 8 metres. It is rugby league. It's fast, it's aggressive. There's going to be some amazing skill on show. And there's going to be some big hits as well. It's rugby league. You're going to see some chairs smashing into each other and some people going flying.
We cannot wait. So join myself, James Simpson, and also you, Jamie Jones-Buchanan, tomorrow, 3 p.m.
We will not miss that. That is, it's rough and tumble rugby league at its very best. And that's a great man to sell it, James Simpson. And as Jenna said, you can join James, JJB and Jenna tomorrow on Sky Sports. OK, we're going to take a break here now at the Halliwell Jones Stadium. After that, Game 2 of our international double-header. It'll be Sean Wayne's England against Ellery Hanley's All-Stars. We'll begin our build-up after this to a 5:45 p.m. kickoff.